When folks talk about pump-action shotguns, heavy hitters like the Remington 870 and the Mossberg 500 usually take center stage. But let's not forget there are a handful of lesser-known scatterguns that quietly deliver exceptional performance without the fame. These underrated models may not show up in every magazine ad or gun shop shelf, but they've earned their stripes among seasoned shooters. Let's dive into 7 of the most overlooked pump actions in firearm history and see why they deserve a spot beside the legends. The Ithaca Model 37 is one of those firearms that slips under the radar unless you've spent time in the field or studied your history. What really makes this shotgun stand out is its bottom ejection system. It kicks spent shells straight downward rather than out the side. That's a huge plus for left-handed shooters like myself. And it helps keep dirt and debris out of the action in dusty or wet conditions. The craftsmanship is another thing worth noting. Many models come dressed in beautifully checkered walnut with a classic corncob style forend that gives you excellent grip even with wet gloves. The receivers often feature finely engraved game scenes, adding a touch of artistry to an already hard-working gun. The Model 37 is nothing if not adaptable. Whether you're chasing upland birds or patrolling property lines, there's a version of this shotgun to suit your needs. It's been chambered in 12 gauge, 16 gauge, 20 gauge, and 28 gauge, with the 12 gauge being the most commonly used in the hunting world. The 12 gauge version tips the scale around 7 pounds, while the 20 gauge model trims things down to about 5 3/4 pounds, ideal for long days afield. Barrel lengths range from 24 inches up to 30 inches, and many versions come with ventilated ribs for better sight alignment and heat dispersion. Despite not getting the same press as some of the bigger names, the Ithaca Model 37 offers a rare mix of simplicity, rugged design, and timeless style. In my experience, it's a shotgun that never quits and always impresses. Number 6. Winchester Model 25. Another overlooked classic. The Winchester Model 25 often gets left out of the conversation, even though it shares roots with one of the most iconic pump shotguns of all time, the Winchester Model 12. Designed as a cost-effective alternative, the Model 25 did away with a few frills to cut down on price, but not at the expense of performance or reliability. Chambered in 12 gauge, the Model 25 was produced with barrel lengths ranging from 26 inches to 30 inches. Whether you were looking for quick handling in dense brush or tighter patterns at long range, this shotgun gave you options. It also came with a range of factory choke configurations from improved cylinder to full choke, so you could tailor it to upland hunting, waterfowl, or even informal clays. The frame was built as a solid piece, giving it long-lasting strength and better recoil control. The downside? You couldn't break it down as easily for cleaning or compact storage, which likely contributed to its fading popularity. That said, its 6-round tubular magazine was impressive for the time, especially compared to many modern pump shotguns that are limited to 4 or 5 shells. Built between the years 1949 and 1954, the Model 25 had a relatively short production run. That limited availability is part of why it's so often forgotten, but among collectors and dedicated pump-action fans, it's still remembered fondly as a no-nonsense workhorse. Number 5. Marlin Model 120. That said, the Marlin 120 wasn't without merit. One standout version sported a massive 40-inch barrel, a rarity in the world of pump actions. That extended length gave it an edge in accuracy and reach, especially for long-range waterfowl shooting. built entirely from steel and matched with a finely checkered walnut stock. It had a rugged, old-school feel in the hands. The tubular magazine could load 5 2¾ shells or 4 3-inch shells, offering good flexibility depending on your preferred load. Although it never achieved widespread acclaim, the Marlin 120 holds its own as a tough, vintage option for collectors and nostalgic shooters. If you happen to find one in solid condition, it's worth picking up not for the latest in tech, but for a glimpse into a bold, if flawed, design from a different era of American shotguns. The Winchester Model 1897 is a throwback to an entirely different age of pump-action shotguns, and although it's been eclipsed by newer platforms, it's still a gun with serious historical weight. One of its most striking features is the external hammer, similar to what you'd see on a single-action revolver. For those of us who love classic firearms, that hammer gives it undeniable charm and character. But what really sets the Model 1897 apart is its slam-fire ability. By holding down the trigger and working the pump, it'll fire every time the action closes, no reset required. This made it devastating in close quarters, particularly in trench warfare during World War I. Chambered in both 12-gauge and 16-gauge, it gave shooters the choice to tailor it for field use, defense, or combat applications. Barrel lengths ranged from 20 inches all the way up to 30 inches, with configurations available in solid frame and takedown variants. The takedown version was especially useful for easier transport and cleaning. Its 6-round magazine gave it substantial firepower, especially for its time, and helped cement its status as a battle-proven shotgun. Though no longer in production, the Model 1897 still enjoys a cult following. If you ever have the chance to fire one, you'll immediately understand why it holds such a revered place in firearm history. Number 3. Mossberg 200K. If you've ever thought about expanding your collection with something rare and retro, the Mossberg 200K is one of those overlooked classics that deserves a second glance. This shotgun stands out thanks to its detachable box magazine, which holds 3 rounds of 12-gauge. But what really made it special was its ability to accept 2 extra shells directly into the action, so you could keep shooting without needing to remove the mag. That kind of flexibility is hard to come by. Another smart feature was its tang-mounted safety, ambidextrous, intuitive, and easy to operate whether you're a righty or a lefty. The barrel was ported to tame some of that felt recoil, which made longer shooting sessions more manageable. On top of that, it came equipped with a flat rib along the barrel, giving you a crisp and fast sight picture when every shot counted. The shotgun included an adjustable choke, allowing shooters to fine-tune the spread pattern depending on what they were aiming at. With a barrel measuring 28 inches, it found that sweet spot between easy handling and solid downrange performance. Weighing in at about 7 pounds and 7 ounces, it carried well in the field without wearing you down. The Mossberg 200K hasn't been in production for decades, so finding one isn't as easy as walking into your local shop. That said, they still pop up now and then, usually through secondhand dealers or online auctions. If you're the type who appreciates vintage guns with clever design touches, this old-school Mossberg just might earn a place of honor in your safe. Number 2. Smith & Wesson Model 3000. When it comes to classic pump-action shotguns that never quite got their due, the Smith & Wesson Model 3000 stands out as a hidden gem. This shotgun had an ideal weight and superb balance, giving it that sweet spot between maneuverability and recoil control. The way it naturally pointed toward the target made it a favorite among those who handled one. It simply felt right from the shoulder. This shotgun was offered in a wide variety of configurations, making it suitable for everything from big game hunting to defensive roles. One notable variant was the dedicated slug model, designed specifically for tight shot placement at shorter ranges. That version often included an extended magazine tube and optional iron sights for faster target acquisition and better follow-up shots. Durability was a key feature here, thanks to its cold hammer forged barrel made from high-strength steel. Fixed choke options ranging from improved cylinder to full choke gave shooters the ability to fine-tune their spread for different types of game or shooting disciplines. Dual action bars kept the cycling process smooth and consistent, dramatically lowering the chance of failure under stress or rapid fire. The Smith & Wesson Model 3000 was as tough as it was handsome. The receiver was precision, machined from a solid steel block, giving it serious longevity. The American walnut furniture, complete with deep hand-cut checkering, delivered not only aesthetics but also a solid, slip-resistant grip that inspired confidence in every pull of the trigger. Unfortunately, with a limited production window and stiff competition in the market, this excellent pump action never got the widespread attention it earned. But for those of us who fired one, it's a clear reminder that forgotten guns can still leave a lasting impression. Number 1. Remington Model 31. Topping the list of underappreciated pump shotguns is none other than the Remington Model 31. Despite being one of the smoothest and most refined pump guns ever built, it never reached the fame of some of its contemporaries. It was Remington's first shotgun to feature side ejection, an innovation that kept spent shells out of the shooter's face and allowed better focus on follow-up shots. Earlier versions came with a clean, hand-checkered walnut stock and forend, which provided both grip and beauty. Later production runs introduced a rib-style forend that added a more rugged, tactical feel perfect for faster-paced shooting environments. The Model 31 was available in a wide selection of gauges, including 12, 16, and 20 gauge, allowing shooters to choose a configuration tailored to their specific use. One of its standout features was its simple barrel removal system. Just twist off a knurled retaining nut, and you could quickly change or clean the barrel, a welcome feature for field users. And there you have it, 7 incredibly underrated pump-action shotguns that, in many cases, were outshined by more popular names but still deliver reliability, performance, and character in spades. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into shotguns, these under-the-radar models deserve a place in your lineup. Give them a chance, they might just end up being your new favorite. Thanks for sticking with us today. We'll be back soon with more in-depth firearm content. So stay sharp, shoot straight, and take care.